Prime Time Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening and welcome to Primetime Local News. Abby St. John and Jasmine King here to bring you all the news, sports, and weather, including with our question of the day. If you could be in a TV show, what would it be?
I always like to watch those home reno shows and them completely making over a house. So I think I would want to do that, kind of just get them to like make over my house for me, and hopefully me not have to pay anything.
I mean, that's fair. I think I would be more of like a sitcom style, like Friends or The Office, because I think that would just be really fun because they have comedic elements to it, which I like. But we will get to all of your comments and more later on. But first, we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location.
Thanks, guys. Well, today we are at OPA and we'll be talking with Floyd and Lanny, and now they've moved to a brand new country from the Philippines a little while ago, and they are now opening their first franchise here, OPA in Lloydminster. So they're going to be kind enough to show me a little bit about what the food they make and talk about their story. And again, you're going to get to see my poor creation at the end of the show. So we're going to have more from back here throughout the night, but first we are going to go back into the studio and take a look at your local news.
One current issue unique to the border city is the transferring of healthcare records between provinces, and this is one issue MLA Colleen Young is trying to fix.
This issue had been brought up at many different meetings here in the border city, and the most recent one was at the Concerned Citizens for Senior Care Society's AGM meeting, as the transferring of records affects both seniors and Lloydminster residents.
We still have a problem with transferring records, so that if you are in the Lloydminster Hospital, get transferred to Edmonton, there's a problem because the records don't transfer. So we're working on that issue too.
MLA Colleen Young mentions that over the past few years there has been difficulty with trying to connect with the past health minister of Alberta, and solving healthcare issues that were present in the border city had been complicated.
It was difficult to get their Minister of Health to work with our Minister of Health, even to return phone calls so that we could deal with some of the issues in our bi-provincial situation in our border. I think with the new minister, we've already moved forward in having some discussions to try to work on some of the issues that are of great concern for the citizens of Lloydminster and the constituency with regards to health care.
She's also wanting the two governments to come to a resolution quickly, as the numbers are rising of people who are going to be in senior care.
Lloydminster in particular is going to see, with the baby boomers coming on board, a 200% increase in seniors needing long-term services, and I think it's time for the governments on both sides of the borders to look at the different situation and see what can be done to make the system work more efficiently, as well as provide the services that are needed for our aging population and our seniors.
Young is hopeful that with the recent meetings and conversations about the issues, that they will be resolved soon.
There is some meetings being held. I was just at one recently where there has been some good discussion and some movement forward. So hopefully in the very near future, we'll have solved some of those technology problems.
Another issue that was brought up concerning seniors was long-term beds and more access to health care.
1 week remains in June, which also means 1 week left in Adopt a Shelter Cat Month, and the Lloydminster SPCA is encouraging locals to come take a look at the furry friends they have to offer. The SPCA is preparing for a large volume of kittens to come out of foster care and into the shelter, resulting in the need for adoptions to go up.
We are getting an influx of our kittens. We have lots of our kittens in foster that they are going to be ready to come into the shelter here right away. So we're going to see an influx of our cats, so we're hoping to see an influx of adoptions as well.
With a variety of unique cats to choose from, you'll be sure to find a perfect match when visiting.
We have kittens, we have adult cats, and you know, there's bound to be one that would fit your personality perfectly. So just come check it out.
The shelter saw 6 cats get adopted in the last week as part of Adopt a Shelter Cat Month, and is hoping to have even more cats find a home by the end of the month. For over 10 years, the Lloydminster SPCA has been participating in it, and in this week's retrospect, our Abby St. John takes a look at why it's important to take part in the month and why it's been going on for so long.
With the month of June, it's International Adopt a Cat Month, and so it's a month where all over Canada and the States, all the shelters and pet stores all get behind their cats and want people to come out and adopt a cat or a kitten and give them a good home.
Flash forward to today, and the Lloydminster SPCA continues to take part in Adopt a Shelter Cat Month, which is very important to them.
I think I think it's important just because cats obviously are a little bit more of the overpopulation, right? So I mean, it's harder to find them homes, and there's always kittens, and so it's just stray after stray sort of thing. So I think it's a good thing to kind of bring awareness that the shelters, vast majority of shelters, it's always cats that are they're overloaded on. So I think that's why it's important to bring light to it.
Adopt a Cat Month has been going on for as long as it has because there is always a need for cat adoptions, and this month acts as a reminder for people that there is a need for cat adoptions.
Brings light to it, right? I mean, I think, there's just the problem doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. So I think it's important, again, just to keep it going. So I think it just reminds people that, oh yeah, there is quite a few cats out there that need a home. So it's nice when, obviously kittens are quite cute and everything, but it's nice when the adult cats can find that forever home too.
Throughout the years, the SPCA has noticed the number of cats adopted during the month of June varies each year.
As big as Lloydminster can be, it's still a smaller community as well too. So I think, just with us advertising it, it kind of brings a little bit more light to it. But I mean, regardless if you're ready to adopt a cat or not, that's what plays into it too, right? So obviously we're not, putting it out there so that you can come take a cat and that you're not ready for. But I think it kind of just shows people like, oh yeah, like, let's go get a cat.
And that's it for this week's Retrospect.
Retrospect is brought to you by Webb's Machinery. Webb's Machinery, your New Holland dealer in Vermilion, Bakerville, and Lamont.
Now we go to our Eric Bay, who was on location today.
Once again, we are back here at OPA, which has just opened its new location here in Lloydminster, and I'm joined now by Floyd and Lainey, who are in charge of the new franchise. So first off, can you tell us a little bit about your backstory? I know you guys came from the Philippines and then to finally working here and running OPA.
Okay, we moved to Vancouver like 15 years ago, and then we were drawn by the economic boom here in Lloyd in 2014. So we moved here, and then suddenly the oil crash, right? So, yeah. But we stayed here. We stick to Lloyd, and then we find the opportunity to open a OPA here.
And now, what exactly was, I know there's a ton of different options out there, what kind of drew you guys towards opening an OPA here?
Because there was a gap in the market, like there was no OPA here, so we're just filling the gap.
And he loves OPA.
And now, can you tell us a little bit the process, maybe how much work you guys did put in to actually finally get this off the ground and running?
It took us a year, to set this up.
Tons of work, obviously. And now, what's been it like? I know you guys have only been doing this for about 1 day now, so what's kind of the experience been like so far, and what are you guys looking forward to from now on?
Very busy. It's been very busy. It's tiring, but
it's rewarding.
Rewarding, yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys once again for joining us. We are going to have some more from back here in OPA, checking out some of the new dishes you guys can try out here now in Lloydminster. But first, we are going to go back into the studio.
Thanks, Eric. Well, taking a look at our current temperatures, 13. It has been raining on and off for the past couple of hours, but it has stopped as of right now. Looking at our records for this time of year, a high of 30 back in 1998 and a low of 3 back in 2003. We're sitting at 13 kilometers of wind right now, so it's not terrible, but there is definitely some wind in the air. Going over to our satellite radar map, as you can see, the green has made its way to Lloydminster, and we're going to be seeing rain for the next couple of days. It's pretty hard in Edmonton and Vegreville, as you can see with the yellow, but we're more of the dark green, more light green, with a little bit of yellow coming there as well. Taking a look at your watches and warnings, there is no warnings for us here, only a little bit of a rainfall warning down in the southern southwest of Alberta, but nothing here. Looking at our current temperatures, here are 13, like I said, 16 in Cold Lake and Athabasca, 13 in Whitecourt, Edson sitting at 15, Jasper and Rocky Mountain House sitting at 18, and Edmonton and Red Deer sitting at 14. And if we look at the Saskatchewan side, 15 in Meadow Lake, 16 in North Battleford, 18 in Saskatoon, 15 in Melfort, and 19 in Prince Albert. If we take a look at more regional in-depth temperatures, 16 in North Battleford, they're looking at some showers right now. Overnight is going to be pretty clear with a little bit of cloud sitting at 10. Tomorrow they'll see some showers at a high of 19. Cold Lake, they will see some rain tonight with a high of 10 overnight. Tomorrow will be 17 with mostly cloudy, sunny skies with rain there. Here in Lloydminster, overnight we'll see some clear skies, a little bit of clouds sitting at a high of 10. And tomorrow will be rainy with at a high of 17. Over the next 3 days will be Wednesday, we're having a 40% chance we'll see some showers, maybe even some lightning with a little bit of sun mix there. Thursday will be a high of 22 with a possible 40% chance we should see some showers. Averages for this time of year are a high of 21 and a low of 10, so we are sitting around where we need to be. But that is a first look at your weather. We'll have more primetime local news coming up after the break.
Welcome back. The energy needs of Canadian farms have grown substantially over the past 3 decades, but that energy is being put to increasingly efficient use. According to a recent National Energy Board analyst of federal statistics, Canadian agricultural energy demand increased by about 50% between 1990 and 2016, but the amount of energy consumed per inflation-adjusted dollar of agricultural output fell 17%. Energy and crop engineer Steve Clark, who joined the Ontario Ministry of Agricultural, Food and Rural Affairs in 1983, says farms in Ontario are embracing new technologies, including the use of LED lighting in barns to dramatically reduce energy costs. He says average farms are larger and being operated with fewer people, a situation that is also forcing the adoption of more remote monitoring and automated process on farms. And now we'll take a look at your ag prices.
Every member of the City Centre Auto Body team has been through extensive training. We're constantly upgrading our team's education to reflect current collision repair technique.
The Lloydminster Junior B Extreme Lacrosse team punched their ticket to the postseason by winning both of their games this past weekend, and our Tegan Gieselbrecht has more.
The Lloydminster Extreme won both of their weekend matches in dominant fashion, taking them to the tune of 15-5, then 23-8, securing their position in the postseason. They were confident that they would handle their competition.
It's always good to win. We knew that we're a good team, and we know that we're going to make playoffs. So, we're going to go to Sherwood Park in 2 weeks here, and hopefully get back to provincials.
The two games showcased their explosive offense, which helped them get out of the offensive rut they've been in recently.
Passing and catching, when we pass and catch well, we definitely we can put the biscuit in the basket. So it's we're a great offensive team when we do those things. So it's nice to see high scores like that, and hopefully we can keep it rolling.
The team is eager for the big lights of playoffs.
I think they're pretty pumped up. I hope they're pumped up. Anytime the playoffs come around, if you don't get pumped up, you got something wrong with you. So I definitely think that we're going to come to play. We lost 2 to Sherwood Park this year, but I think we're definitely primed to beat them.
Oh, I'm really excited. I love playoff time. Gets a little gritty.
They're confident, despite dropping both of their matchups against Sherwood Park this season. They know how to beat them.
We just got to stay with it. If we play offensively like we did the last 2 games, we shouldn't have any problems with Sherwood Park. When they're a big physical team, and we just got to fight through the physicality and be able to get those chances.
The group is focusing on little things in the game to improve the odds of winning.
I'd say loose balls and power play. We need to get the power play going a little better against those stronger teams. A lot of times we get a little stagnant when teams are physical with us. So, just bringing that effort every time.
Moving the ball mostly, setting our picks, looking for the open guy. That's really what we look forward to.
With winning the provincial championship last year, the crew feels that the experience can go a long way.
I'm pretty sure most of the guys that played last year are back again, so it's just that we'll have that experience and not be as nervous.
The 4th place Extreme will face the 1st place Sherwood Park Titans in the first round of the playoffs. Tegan Gieselbrecht, Primetime Local Sports.
Now we go to our Eric Bay, who was on location today.
Once again, we are back here at OPA, which has just opened its new location in Lloydminster. And now we've got Floyd here working on some chicken for the pita wrap that we'll be making here in a little bit. But now I'm joined by Lanny, and Lanny, you're going to tell me all about this Greek salad you guys have here. So first, can you talk about the ingredients and what you guys put into it?
So everything is prepped in the morning. Everything is fresh. It has tomatoes, cucumbers, green peppers, and onion. And it's the traditional Greek salad. That's a traditional Greek salad.
And now that's different from the garden Greek salad, correct?
Yeah.
And so now as we move over here, what kind of the process you guys go for when you are making this salad?
Yeah, so first we have a bed of lettuce, and then we put the mixture. Yeah.
And now because this is traditional now, you guys have more of the veggies rather than the lettuce, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so and then after the veggies here, what do you guys do next?
We put feta cheese, and we usually ask the customers if they want olives, and yeah, if they want olives, we put some. If not, we don't.
So it's more optional then, to customers' preference. The beauty of making it here, obviously, is that you guys can kind of tailor it.
Yeah, to the customers.
And now you guys do, obviously we're not going to be putting any dressing on here right now, but what do you guys do for your dressing here at OPA?
OPA has a custom-made dressing that we add to our, we don't know the secret ingredients, but yeah.
All right, that's right. We don't want you to reveal any of your secrets. Thank you for taking the time to show us about your guys' Greek salad. And now we're going to have a little bit more back from here in a bit, but first we're going to go back into the studio.
Thanks, Eric. Well, taking a look at some current temperatures, starting on the Saskatchewan side, we're sitting at 14 here in Lloydminster, 18 in Macklin, 15 in Maidstone and Green Lake, 16 in North Battleford and St. Walburg, 13 in Meadow Lake, 19 in Isla Cross, and 17 in Pearson. Over on the Alberta side, 16 in Cold Lake, Bonnyville, St. Paul, 14 in Vermilion, 13 in Vegreville, 14 in Edmonton, Wainwright sitting at 17, Provost at 18, and Lac La Biche sitting at 15. Current temperatures lower down in Alberta, 16 in Fort McMurray, 15 in Slave Lake and Grand Prairie, 14 in Peace River, 17 in High Level, 19 in Fort Chipewyan. On the Saskatchewan side, 19 in Uranium City, 13 in Stony Rapids, 10 in Wollaston Lake, 12 in South End, 18 in Flin Flon, 16 in La Ronge, and 19 in Buffalo Narrows and La Loche. Heading down southern Saskatchewan, 20 in Kindersley, Swift Current sitting at 19, 21s for Moose Jaw and Regina, 23 in Yorkton, and 16 in Estevan. Southern Alberta, we're looking at Medicine Hat sitting at 21, Lethbridge at 18 as well as in Calgary, and 16 in Banff and 17 in Coronation. Now looking for tomorrow's weather, 17 in Lloydminster, Vermilion, Wainwright, Marwayne, Cold Lake, St. Paul, and Vegreville, 18 in Edmonton, Lac La Biche, and Bonnyville, and in Provost. On the Saskatchewan side, 18 in Macklin, 19 in North Battleford, 17 in Maidstone and in St. Walburg, 19 in Pearson and Meadow Lake, 18 in Green Lake, and 17 in Isla Cross. Taking a look at your school day forecast for tomorrow, 12 degrees in the morning at 8 a.m. with mostly sunny skies with a bit of cloud. Heading into recess is a high of 14, again with the mostly sunny skies and a bit of cloud. Heading into lunch, we'll be at a high of 15, where we'll probably see some showers, and then home time will be sunny with some clouds at a high of 17. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, tomorrow we'll see an 88% chance we could see some showers. Wednesday will be a high of 20 with mostly cloudy skies, a little bit of sun, and a 40% chance of some showers. 22 on Thursday, where we may see a break from the rain. 19 on Friday with 77% chance of some showers. 20s both on Saturday and Sunday with a sun and cloud mixture. And 22 on Monday with a 57% chance of some showers. We're sitting around our averages for this time of year with a high of 21 and a low of 9, which is good. But that is a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more primetime local news coming up after the break.
Now we go to our Eric Bay, who is on location.
Once again, we are back here at OPA, and we just made a traditional Greek salad, and now Floyd joins me now, and he's been working hard making some chicken here. So, and you're going to actually show me how to make a proper pita wrap. So what's kind of the first step here?
Okay, so we'll just grab the chicken from the grill. We'll put it on the pita. So just give it a twist.
So just twist and comes off just like that?
Yeah.
And now how long do you usually cook it for about before it actually does go on the pita?
It takes like 14 minutes to cook the chicken.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now is there a reason you're rearranging it like that, just so it folds nicely?
Yeah, folds nicely. And then you ask customers what they want, like if they want tzatziki. Normally I put tzatziki first because it's wet. Then you put dry.
Is that kind of so then your toppings stick to it almost?
Yeah. Then feta cheese. If you want onions, you can add onions, tomatoes. Then jalapeno, you always ask customers because some don't want spicy.
Just say, I don't think mine will take any jalapenos. I'm not that big a fan of spicy.
And then put some lettuce in it. There you go.
And now, how do you get to actually folding it? Because that looks pretty full. I'm not sure maybe able to succeed in this.
See, with lettuce on top, you can push the ingredients down so you can close the pita, right?
Make sure it's nice and snug in there.
Yeah. Then you put it in a wrap. Okay, so you just fold it here and then twist at the bottom.
And that's so nothing falls out?
Yeah, so it should be tight. Then you add more tzatziki for presentation.
Okay.
It will look good. There we go.
And then just like that on the plate with lettuce, eh? We're gonna have some more from back here at OPA, but first we're gonna go back into the studio.
All right, so we asked you on Facebook, what is one TV show that you would want to be in? Just reading some of the questions, I noticed that they were all different and there weren't really repeats, which was, it was interesting. So just reading a few, Wheel of Fortune was one of them. Magnum PI, someone said they met most of the cast and apparently they were pretty cool people. Dukes of Hazzard, Cheers is another one. Big Brother, like, you know, the reality TV shows. Wipeout, which I thought was pretty interesting because I grew up watching Wipeout, which was it was a good show. It was really funny to watch.
I used to watch that show all the time when I was younger, and I would watch like the kids version on like YTV and stuff. And I'd always dreamed of being on that show and just like jumping on, like trying to go over those obstacles and everything like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I didn't even think that it was still around, like it's still around. And I saw it on TV like a couple days ago, and I was like, oh, I forgot about this show, which was pretty interesting. But something we never forget about is your pets. So we're going to take a look at the pets of the day. This is Bren and Foxy, best friends.
They're so cute.
This is Bruce.
It looks like they wanted to like trick him to get into the picture.
Yeah, maybe using a treat or something.
Yeah.
This is Kiki and Abby.
Oh, they're so cute together.
Yeah, they look like best friends. This is Rhino.
Aww.
Very adorable.
With his toys, or he's something in the back there.
Yeah. And this is Tubby, Tipsy, and their mom, Princess.
Oh, they're all cuddling together. So cute.
Very, very cute. Well, if you want to be shown on Pet of the Day, submit your picture on our Facebook page for your chance to win a PetPad gift card.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
I'm here in the Bonnyville Pontiac's locker room. As you can see, a little less hectic than it is during the regular season. I'm joined by head coach and general manager Rick Swan. Rick, thank you for having me here and agreeing to do this.
Thanks for coming and having me, Josh. Thank you.
Yeah. It's been a busy off season for you, despite how calm and peaceful it is right now. So what have you been up to over the last couple months?
Well, like any organization, any organizer within our league, recruiting's been a major focus for us. We're still trying to build our team, and a lot of work goes into the recruiting process. Last year we finished with 41 wins, which was a franchise record. We had the least goals against in our franchise history, and we also finished in the top 3 for the first time in franchise history. So now our standard is raised. So therefore the work that's required in order to bring in players to continue to build our teams so that we can escalate in the right direction is amplified by all of us with those expectations. And we want to make sure that we're living and playing to that standard come August. And that involves a lot of time on the phone, a lot of visits in family kitchens with parents and families to convince them that Bonnyville's a great place, not only to develop as a hockey player, but more importantly, to develop as a person as well, because the character's part of our culture, and it's the front line part of what we're looking for in a candidate or prospect coming to our community. But we've got some big shoes to fill and some real key guys leaving our organization, but we want to make sure that we do our job to make sure that we do everything we can in order to continue on with the great season we had last year.
Indeed, some integral pieces like Grayson Constable, of course. You have another challenge this summer, but a unique one, though not as unique to some coaches because you've had some international experience, thankfully. You get to go and coach overseas in Russia, and as we were talking off camera, you now have a roster to work with.
Well, you know, I just feel so privileged, appreciative. Not only have I had the opportunity to coach in 3 World Junior A challenges and lucky enough to win a gold medal, a bronze medal. This is an entirely different thing. It's the Junior Club World Cup hosted by the KHL, which is the NHL equivalent, over in Russia, to bring 8 countries in of the very best athletes within their leagues to compete for a World Cup tournament. And it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the Alberta Junior Hockey League, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for myself, and I feel privileged to be able to work with Boris Rebelka and Ryan Bartoshik and a great staff with 22 fantastic hockey players with good character to be able to go over there and represent the AJHL as well as Hockey Canada in a manner beyond reproach.
As you mentioned, you're going to face off against some of the best the KHL has to offer, and you're basically pitting, you know, teenagers against adults, against fully grown men who've played professional hockey. What kind of challenge is that going to be in terms of readying these young men for an increase in physicality and speed and whatnot?
Well, I think the Olympic ice surface is going to be one challenge that Boris and I have to be able to contend with. Another challenge is to be able to get a group of players that have never played with each other to bond as a team and buy in to put the team first before themselves, as well as buy into a framework of a structure that we want to use to allow us to be competitive against the 8 countries involved, and as well as also knowing that the Team Russia, although they're junior age players, a lot of those guys will have played in their pro league with the KHL, and so there's some different dynamics. There's some dynamics of traveling to Moscow with the time changes, the food changes, the different ice surfaces, the different culture that we're going to be dealing with, and put those aside to be able to collectively get 22 players to play the Alberta Junior Hockey League way, or the Western way, or the Team Canada way in terms of what Hockey Canada expects from us. And but I think that we've done a great job as a staff identifying 22 players that meet the standards of performance that we're looking for. We want to play fast. We want to be playing with a lot of IQ, so we are looking for smart hockey players, but most importantly, they've got to be great character kids, and great character kids normally buy into a short-term competition and buy in to what we're trying to accomplish, but we're very excited.
And now, in addition to the great character, obviously you need a lot of skill. Are there any guys that you're already looking at, these guys are going to take sort of leadership roles or key penalty killing roles, anything like that, or is that still going to be a bit of a work in progress? You haven't, or do you, in fact, maybe let the kids have a choice in who they choose as their leaders?
Well, we know that we've got some great kids, first and foremost, that are very well thought up in terms of a leadership role within their own organizations. but Boris and I still need to get everybody together. We're planning on getting together in July to go over expectations, go over government expectations, because it's quite an arduous process to apply to even get to travel to Russia, as well as our rules and our style of play and the things that are going to make up the framework of what we're going to do over there in terms of how we play and how we conduct ourselves. And then we're going to get together again for a mini camp before we fly to Moscow on August 16th to be able to do that same. And I think by that time we'll have a good idea of what different players maybe rise to the top in terms of a leadership role, because your leadership group is going to be critically important for us as coaches as well to support that buy-in that we're looking for.
That all will take place, the competition rather will take place this August, so just a few months to get ready for yet another international competition.
Hey, it's Sarah from Real Country 97.7, and here's your look at what's going on in St. Paul this week. We're coming up on Canada Day, and there are tons of events going on in the Lakeland. In Elk Point, we've got a pancake breakfast going on 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. 11 a.m. the parade is going to kick off. Then between noon and 10:30 p.m. you can enjoy lots of family-friendly events, including food vendors, bouncy castles, a car smash, an outdoor movie, and more. The night will finish off with fireworks around 10:30 p.m. Now going on here in St. Paul, you can enjoy several events between 12 p.m. and 4:30 p.m., including face painting, glitter tattoos, food vendors, arts and crafts, and a vendor's market. The night will end with fireworks around 11 p.m. If you want to see the full list of what's going on right here in St. Paul, you can head to realcountrystpaul.ca/events. And if you want to find out what's going on Canada Day in different communities around the Lakeland, you can head to realcountrystpaul.ca/events. We have all of them posted up there. I'm Sarah, and that was your look at what's going on in St. Paul this week.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Back in the Pontiac's locker room of the RJ Lalonde Arena with head coach and general manager Rick Swan. Rick, we talked in the first segment about how successful last season was. Obviously, it wasn't the ending you guys were hoping for. Since you've had some time to reflect on it, do you have any new insight or new understanding of how things went down the way they did? And is there anything you wish you could change, or is that you're simply looking at it was a learning lesson and now we move forward as a program?
You know, I think a lot of things, whenever you end the season and it doesn't go the way you want it to go, you have to reflect on what went well, what didn't go so well. And obviously for us, having the best season in franchise history, regular season, the playoffs certainly didn't go as long as we thought it should go. So first of all, you got to reflect within. It starts with you. The accountability starts with you of what we need to be as a staff going into the next season, but more importantly, what I need to change. And we look at all facets of our team, including personnel, one-on-one interviews to learn as much as you can from your players, as well as be real with yourself in terms of self-assessing and being able to critique yourself to make sure that you move into next season to be better. And I just think that at the end of the day, we picked the wrong time of the year not to be playing our best hockey. And Spruce Grove, the team that beat us out in the playoffs, picked the right time of the year to play their best hockey. But we've got to learn, and how do we shift as an organization to make sure that we're where we need to be, and we need to be at our very best come playoff time. And that involves maybe some restructuring of our personnel moving into next year, a little bit of a different makeup in terms of how the game has gone now, with respect to having puck-moving defensemen that are very quick and are able to distribute the puck as quick as they can in the forward's hands so that we can play a fast game. And that's one thing. And then for myself, I better look at professional opportunities to grow myself as a coach. And we talked a little bit about the World Cup experience. It's going to allow me to be able to do that. And then it allows me to be able to put some challenges to our coaching staff to make sure that they're doing the same. And so I think we're going to be better as a coaching staff from our experience last year. I think the veterans returning will be better because of going through that experience. And we're going to look at adversity as a good thing. Adversity is a chance to learn and make sure that we grow in the right direction. And that's all involved in the hard work that's been done with recruiting, as well as our season plan and maybe the style of play that we play next year. But we've got to improve from that franchise record-breaking season next year. We know that because now our expectation has been higher than it's ever been before, and that's a great thing for our organization.
As the NHL and NBA playoffs proved, winning isn't easy. So you'll have to be able to prove it once again next year. As you mentioned with the World Cup experience, do you think that because it doesn't fall in the middle of the season and because of already having some absences in the middle of the season with the World Junior A Challenge, that will make it easier for your staff, not that they had a difficulty necessarily, but that it'll make it easier for the staff heading into the season, knowing that A, it's a little outside the purview of where you're normally at, and it's something they've experienced before, I guess.
They have, and I think that we learn from those experiences as well, and I feel so privileged that the organization is comfortable in letting me go and comfortable in the staff that we've got to be able to hold down the fort and make sure it runs in the right direction in terms of where we want to go. But both Neil Langridge and TJ Miller, they've been through it before. We've learned to make sure that we tweak things so that if I'm here or not, we're still going to obtain the same objective that we're looking for. But a lot of work goes into the summertime to make sure that we're uber prepared, not only for the opportunity to attend and play in Russia in the World Cup, but more importantly, the Bonnyville Pontiacs, that there's no stone unturned. So we're in that process right now with our season plan, and in that process now making sure that everybody with the communication that we've got is on the same page of what we've got to do. And I'll miss a week for sure, but I have full trust in our organization, full trust in our staff that we're going to still fulfill and meet every objective that we've got because of their familiarity with it as well, but just to make sure that we put ourselves in the best position to succeed.
Now we only have a few seconds left, so I'm going to have to ask you for one-word answers, basically, a couple of rapid fires. St. Louis winning the Stanley Cup.
Good on them.
Okay. The Game of Thrones series finale was?
Disappointing.
You and so many other people have that take. Favorite spot this summer to go spend your leisure time?
Would be just with my wife at the lake.
Any particular lake?
Moose Lake.
Okay, fair enough. Favorite summer drink?
Would be cold beer.
Cold beer. All right. Not picking a particular brand. That saves you some sponsorship opportunities. And the goal next year for the Bonnyville Pontiacs will be?
To compete in the North Division final.
Okay. I guess I didn't really make it easy for you to say one-word answers, but you did pretty well.
Thanks,
all
Josh.
Things considered. Thank you for doing this, and enjoy the rest of the cast.
Thank you.
Back on Primetime.
Once again, we are back here at OPA. They just opened a new location in Lloydminster, and Floyd and Lanny have been kind enough to show me around and teach me a little bit of different stuff. This is their first franchise. They've worked their way up to opening one here, and I'm sure it'll be a great success as the food looks amazing. Although not this food. This is the pita I tried to wrap, and as you can see, it's not very pretty. This twist here didn't stay like it's supposed to, and it took me forever even just to get the chicken off. So you don't have to worry if you're worried about service or anything like that, because you definitely will not see me behind the counter. Everyone is actually properly trained and has a little more practice than I do. We also learned a bit about their traditional Greek salad. Lanny was kind enough to show me, and again, all those ingredients are fresh daily and a great way to have some healthy food in your diet. So that's all we're going to have from here. We'll now go back into the studio to wrap up tonight's newscast.
Thanks, Eric. We'll take a look at your 7-day forecast one last time. Tomorrow we'll see an 88% chance of some showers with a high of 17. Wednesday, a 40% chance that we could see some lightning mixed with some showers, but we will see some sun with a high of 20. Thursday, a high of 22, where we may see a break from rain. We have a 40% chance of some showers. 19 on Friday with a 77% chance of some showers with a little bit of sun peeking in. Saturday and Sunday, both a high of 20s with sun and cloud mixture. 22 on Monday with a 57% chance of some showers, and we're right around our averages for this time of year with a high of 21 and a low of 9. So, you know, it's going to be the trend for the next few days. Rain, maybe some sun, maybe some lightning. It's just how it is for this week and maybe even next week.
Yeah, it's just going to be rain, rain, rain. That's all I'm expecting.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night, and we'll see you again tomorrow.